Well, hello there. Welcome to my channel, and what we're going to talk about today are 3 things that you can do whenever you find yourself, and hopefully it's not happening to you, but if it does or to a friend, 3 things you can do when you find you're involved in a breakup. Now that could be the end of a relationship with a partner, divorce, it can be loss of a job, it can be you and a friend had a blowout and you know it's not going to get back together again. Whatever the scenario, there's 3 things I want you to think about, and this is through the lens of neuroscience and cognitive psychology. By the way, for those of you who are new, my name is Larry Olson, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. And I want you all to stick around because I've got something for you at the end of this, for those of you who do, that I think you'll find value in. Now, you just had something break up in your life, and the first thing to do is to make sure you grieve it. Don't suppress it. Don't suppress the sadness or the anger or the worst thing is, what did I do? Geez, if I hadn't. We get into the woulda, coulda, shoulda kind of mentality, and all we're doing is processing. But I want you to experience the sadness, experience the anger, experience these things, because if you suppress it, what happens neurologically is we trigger the amygdala to start firing cortisol and adrenaline into our systems, which really have a negative impact on our not only longevity, but it causes brain fatigue, it affects our memory, and we start to get into what's called tunnel vision. And all we can do is look at the past. And unfortunately, when a breakup happens, sometimes you spend more time, if you're not careful, about the good times you had and no longer have, as opposed to the anger and the frustration that you're feeling. So whatever it is you're feeling, feel it. That's step 1. The next thing is what you learn from it. Get to that point where you're getting into this self-respect. What can I take away from this? What part of me was I giving up instead of bringing to the relationship? And many times there's someone who's more dominant, and it could be a manager at work and you no longer have the job. It could have been the partner that you have. We get into a lot of what is called conforming, if you will. Because if you don't get along, sometimes you get along, and that get along is off onto another track that no longer involves that relationship you're in. But more often than not, if we're not careful, we get along by giving ourselves up, by giving ourselves away, and losing our own sense of value. And what this does from a neurological perspective is we start to erode our own feelings of self, which is called our own self-esteem. So one of the most important things to do as you're going through this process is to start recognizing, okay, that's behind me now. Now start getting excited about what's ahead, because you're preparing yourself now. Even as I speak to you, how are you coming across? Would I be looking into the eyes of sadness, anger, or repression? Or would I be looking into the eyes of someone who's like, oh, I now can get into a relationship or into a job or into whatever the new is that is on my terms, that makes me feel good about who I am. And as we start to send that energy out, which is literal energy, we start to draw that towards us. So start to list the things that you want in that new job. Start to list the things that you want in a new partner. And what you're going to find out is you're going to start getting the endorphins flowing. You're going to start feeling that dopamine. And you know what the excitement's coming from? No, you aren't in the new relationship yet, but you're in the new vision of what you're looking forward to. It triggers your reticular activating system, and now you start drawing that information towards you, just like the universe was conspiring to do you good, which is what it's doing if we allow ourselves to open up to it. So get a support system if you find that this isn't working for you. Make sure you're surrounded by people who are excited about who you are and excited about the decision that you made. And those of you who've subscribed or have already subscribed, at the bottom is what I have offered you now as a gift to you. It's called the ability, if you will, to attract wealth and prosperity and abundance. And you'll see the link below. And thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself. And for those of you that are still feeling a little sad, I feel for you. Been there, done that. But I also recognize the great news that's on the other side of that. Take care.